Hi everyone, welcome to Infinite Women. I'm Allison, and today we're talking about Filipina feminist, lawyer, social reformer, and human rights activist Concepción Felix. She founded one of the country's first women's organizations, the Asociación Feminista Filipina, and one of the first humanitarian organizations, Gota de Leche, focused on the well-being of mothers and their children. She also lobbied lawmakers to support giving women the vote and is considered one of the country's first modern feminists. As a young woman, Felix earned her teaching degree at the Instituto de Mujeres, or Women's Institute, then continued her studies while teaching math classes, completing her bachelor's in 1904. She then studied law at the Escuela de Derecho in Manila. She was one of the first women admitted to the law school and became one of the Philippines' first women admitted to the Bar Association. In 1905, she established the Asociación Feminista Filipina as a volunteer social reform group advocating for prison and labor reform for women and children. The group organized drives against drinking, gambling, and prostitution, and implemented campaigns in schools and factories with lectures on hygiene, health, and infant care. Although Felix was not yet focused on women's suffrage, the group campaigned for including women on local boards of education and municipal committees. Working with the nonprofit La Protección de la Infancia, Inc., Felix founded La Gota de Leche in 1907 with the goal to establish a small maternity ward to train nurses and distribute sterile milk to sickly and malnourished infants. By 1909, La Gota de Leche was so productive that it needed a larger space, and Felix led a successful drive to raise funds to buy sterilizing equipment for the newly donated facility. In 1912, Felix, Pura Villanueva Cala, and other women came together to form the Society for the Advancement of Women, laying a foundation of civic and social programs. Over time, the women became more political, and by 1920, suffrage was a key issue. That year, Felix was one of 3 Filipino women who addressed legislators when they presented a suffrage petition signed by 18,000 women. Although a bill was passed giving women the vote in 1933, a technicality forced them to start the process all over again. Along with fellow activists like Pilar Hidalgo Lim, Josefa Llanes Escoda, Maria Paz Mendoza Guazon, Constancia Poblete, Rosa Sevilla de Alvaro, and Cala, Felix continued to lobby for women's suffrage during the 1934 Philippine Constitutional Convention. The 1935 Constitution allowed for women to gain the vote if they could get an affirmation of 300,000 qualified women in a special plebiscite. Held on 30 April 1937, the plebiscite was a landslide victory for women, with 447,725 out of 500,000 votes in favor of suffrage. Felix was awarded the Republic Medal of Merit and a Diploma of Honor in 1948, and was recognized for her human rights work by UNESCO in 1949. For her work with the Catholic Women's League, she received the Pro Ecclesia et Pontifice by Pope Pius VII in 1956. When the Josefa Llanes Escoda Medal was created by the National Federation of Women's Clubs and the Carrie Chapman Catt Award by the Manila Women's Club, she was the first recipient of both. Shortly before her death in 1967, Felix was honored with a presidential medal at the 1966 Women's Rights Day celebrations, and in 1984, a commemorative stamp was issued with her name and image. Join us next time on Infinite Women, and remember, well-behaved women rarely make history.